Hey, good morning. Good morning. Happy Wednesday, excuse me, to each and every one of you. How are you on today? I want to talk to you about Skip Bayless. He calls out Charles Barkley and he says he is sick and tired of Charles Barkley. He says that Charles Barkley, for years, saying he would like to kill him. And he said he is finally responding. He's sick or tired of Charles Barkley. And he said, and he's speaking out now. He's had enough, and he is speaking out against Charles Barkley right now. Now, if anybody know who Charles Barkley is, he is a former NBA player, and he actually is a NBA National Basketball, Association analyst, and he sits on uh, the panel with, I believe, Shaq and I think Kenny, and with some other former NBA players. And Charles Barkley has rubbed a lot of people the wrong way in the past. Even when he was playing ball with the Phoenix Suns, he rubbed people the wrong way. And I've never been a big fan of Charles Barkley, and I really haven't. And I didn't even really like to watch the game when the Phoenix Suns was playing because I really have never been a fan of Charles Barkley. He's arrogant. Excuse me, thinks he's better than other folks. And yeah, you made it big and you married out of your race, you did all that stuff, but leave folks alone, Charles Barkley. So Skip Bayless, I don't know if this is some type of publicity stunt, but I'm gonna go ahead and roll with the article. I'm gonna roll with it, okay, you guys. So roll with me on this one. Roll with me on this one. Now, Skip Bayless, he's a 70-year-old sports commentator, and he says he is tired of receiving criticism from former NBA most valuable player, because Charles Barkley was an MVP, and he's also a basketball Hall of Famer. We all know that. If you follow sports, we know those are the things, the attributes that Charles Barkley has earned. So I don't take that away from him. Now, Charles Barkley is 59, and in recent years, Barkley has publicly spoken out against Skip Bayless. Now, let's see if we can get a backstory, because I'm not sure exactly what the backstory is here, but mostly for his opinions on LeBron James and Aaron Rodgers. So it sounds like Charles Barkley has a problem with Skip Bayless talking about his opinions of LeBron James and Aaron Rodgers. Now, opinions, are like what. We all have them, and we have a right to our opinions, and we have a right to our freedom of speech, whether you like it or not, whether you agree with it or not. We have a right to our opinions. And so Skip Bayless has spoken out against some people that Charles Barkley obviously like or is fond of, or he likes. So Barkley recently expressed his disdain for the sports commentator during an appearance on Draymond Green's podcast. And I've never seen Draymond Green's podcast, and I just want you all to know, but Draymond Green has a podcast. And so the Draymond Green Show is what it's called. And reportedly, Barkley called Bayless a jack, you know what, with the double S at the end, A in the front, but jack, you know what, and also said he hates Bayless more than life itself. Now, Charles Barkley, you're making a statement like that you hate this man more than life itself, but you have plenty of money. You have a family. Your daughter recently got married. What was it, last year, year before last? You recently got married. You had a fabulous time. It shows pictures that you were excited, you were happy, you were right along giving her away. So why is it that you hate life, hate this man more than life itself? I'm not sure if I buy that, Mr. Barkley, because you got plenty of money. You have a life that you carved out for yourself. You have a lot of different attributes. You was a good ball player, even though I wasn't very fond of you. But however, you have carved out a good life for yourself. So why are you even concerned about hating someone more than life itself? Be careful with those words, because if you hate life, then maybe you need to be careful with that. I don't care what's going on, but I still want to live. You know what I'm saying? Charles Barkley. Okay. So now, after years of throwing shots at each other, they both been throwing shots at each other. Skip Bayless decided today would be the day to set the record straight and address the elephant in the room. we've heard of that before. We need to address the elephant in the room. Let's just tell the truth about what you've really been doing. I really want to address you, is what Bayless is saying, because I'm sick and tired of you threatening me, saying you want to kill me. Okay, so on Thursday, March 10th, during an episode of his daily show, Skip and Shannon, Undisputed, Bayless, he addressed his feud with Charles Barkley. And this is in Bayless' words. He says, Mr. Skip says, I'm sick and tired of Charles Barkley blasting me for criticizing LeBron James. It's been going on for 15 years. Last week, he blasted me on the Damon Green's podcast, and he said that I hate LeBron and I hate Aaron Rodgers and I lie on TV. I just spit the truth about both of them. Now, this is what Skip, these is his words. And then he says, he continues, because I have a new podcast. I took the liberty yesterday of using the whole hour of the podcast to fire back at Charles Barkley. Wow, he took his whole hour on his podcast to entertain Charles Barkley. Ain't that something? Now, I'm not going along with no Skip Bayless and no Charles Barkley on this beef back and forth. And I actually do like LeBron James and his ball playing skills. And I'm a Lakers fan to the end, whether y'all like it or not. Lakers, go Lakers, go Lakers. Okay, I like LeBron James. I pray for my team. So Charles and Skip, leave LeBron out of it, please. Leave him out of it. But anyway, he goes on and he says, I've asked him repeatedly, come on the show I used to do on ESPN. For years, he said he would like to kill me, and I responded finally. I finally said, that's enough. I'm challenging Charles to join me on my podcast next week. Now, if he joins you, we hope that y'all can work it out and that there won't be no killing. We don't want to see no killing going on. We got enough killing going on in the world, enough killings of innocent babies being killed and people with this war going on between Ukraine and Russia, and we even have a lot of killings right here in our own country with black on black killings. We don't need to have no more killings. And we're seeing a lot of our black women being killed by white men and vice versa. We see a lot going on. So we really don't want to see no killing. Now, hopefully y'all can get to work it out, but let's move on and keep talking about it, because it says the Skip Bayless show on his podcast. Bayless went more in depth and spoke candidly on the years-long feud. But let me stop right there before I read the rest of it, because Skip Bayless, if you're going in on LeBron James and Aaron Rodgers and you're doing all this stuff, take a look at your heart too and where you're going, because I'm not going to take up for you either. At the end of the day, I understand we're entitled to our opinion, but you dislike LeBron James. You say you're speaking the truth, but maybe it's just your truth. Do you have facts? Do you have receipts of the things that you're saying about these other young men? But at the end of the day, everybody has their opinion about what players they like, who they don't like, and they got these opinions going. But sometimes our opinions can get so personal that is no longer an opinion. It becomes something more than that. And so at the end of the day, what's your problem, Skip, with LeBron and Aaron Rodgers? But then you're saying that you're tired of Charles Barkley because he's trying to shut you up. Basically, you do have freedom of speech. We all do, and we're supposed to exercise it, and we're supposed to be able to respect other people's opinion and just move forward and brush it off. But there are some people that cannot respect other people's opinion, and they start battling. And then they get in social media that they are battling. So, Skip, let's go ahead and read what you're saying here. It says, this 15-year onslaught has amazed me. It has amused me, but has always confounded me, because for the life of me, I have no idea why exactly Charles wants to hurt me. I don't know Charles Barkley. Now, Skip, do you know LeBron James and Aaron Rodgers? And you are saying that you can dish it out now, right? But now you have somebody coming at you for years. You said 15 years, right? This onslaught. And you've been harassing, or I would say, I don't want to use harassing. Let me pull that back. Let me repeal that word and say you're using your opinion to slaughter LeBron James and Aaron Rodgers, and you say it's the truth. But you are dishing it out, Skip Bayless. But when Charles Barkley come at you to put it back on you to talk about you, you have a problem with it. So That is why we ought to be careful when we dish things out about folks. We got to have thick skin to be able to take it, right? Because you do unto others as you have them to do unto you. Treat people the way you want to be treated. And so, therefore, if you have put some things out here about some other folks, and you never know who's going to come at you, because let me tell you something. You can never, ever uh, know how it's going to come back on you. And you can't tell folks how to defend themselves and how to come back. So if you're not able to dish it out, maybe you ought to consider, rethinking some things, do some self-analyzation, and stop throwing it all out there. Okay? Even though we entitled to our own opinions, but guess what? Charles Barkley is entitled to his too. Now the thing about saying he gonna kill you and that he hate he hate life more, hate you, that he hate life or whatever he said. You know what I said earlier. But whatever. That is taking it a little bit too far in my opinion. See, I have an opinion too. Okay, so he says as we go on, he says that I've never had a single conversation with Charles Barkley. Okay. And so then he goes on. See, this is another thing, Skip. You went on to defend your constructive criticism of LeBron James. Now, is it really constructive? Is your criticism of LeBron James really constructive? Is it? We can say constructive criticism, and really it's the way we say it, and it no longer is constructive, but it's destructive criticism. There's a difference between constructive criticism and destructive criticism. And it sounds like to me, Skip, there might be some destructive criticism that you are using against LeBron James. See, I understand constructive criticism, it does not harm or hurt, it helps. And destructive criticism, it harms and does not help. It makes matters worse. Okay. So he goes on to say, as God as my witness, I do not hate LeBron James. Do you even know LeBron James? Have you ever met LeBron James in person? And what beef do you have with LeBron James? Because he is outspoken and he does speak up. And some people have a problem with LeBron James speaking up and speaking out. So is that your problem, Skip? But okay, Charles Barkley speaks out too and speaks up. Okay, but and he says, Charles Barkley, he says, wait, I do not hate LeBron James, Charles Barkley. But I have tried to tell the truth about LeBron as I see it. This is what he's saying. Skip, LeBron James has a family. He has a wife. He has children. Why do you need to keep, I think, let me stop right here. You know how Jim Derogatis, wait a minute, Jim Derogatis, okay. You know how he was always criticizing R. Kelly after R. Kelly didn't give him a job? And he went on a rampage and he been criticizing R. Kelly for years, making up stuff, lying, plead the fifth. If you are not man enough, Jim Derogatis, and this is not about R. Kelly or Jim Derogatis, but it came to mind here, so let me just say something about this. If you're not man enough to get on the stand and tell the truth about what you believe is true in all the books you've written and the things that you have come out and said in the interviews and talks that you have had with the alleged victims, with the accusers, the popcorn poppers, whatever you want to call them, these grown women that pursued this man, and you are less than a man, Jim. You are dirty. You are less than a man. And you need to just sit back, step back, and find something else to talk about and something else to write about, because your days are numbered and they are up. Because if you can't get on the stand and tell the truth about what you believe, and if you can't stand on what you have written in these books and put out there, you cannot stand on what you say these women have told you, then you need to go somewhere and drive your ducks, Jim Derogatis, to another pond. That's what you need to do, because at the end of the day, you are sitting up here angry about something, and you have went so far with R. Kelly, and it's really a sad thing that you have done that. So you're sitting here saying all these things, but you're not willing to stand up and be a real man about it. Skip Bayless, you are talking about LeBron James. What personal issues do you have with LeBron James that you have to keep trying to slaughter him in the public eye? He has a family. He has children. What type of example, Skip Bayless, are you setting? You have Charles Barkley coming after Skip Bayless. And so he don't like that. But when you can pitch it out, you got to have thick skin to be able to take it. So it says the irony of all this is that Charles Barkley, to me, excuse me, now he says to me. So that means to you means that this is what your understanding is. And a lot of times folks lean to their own understanding. You know what I'm saying? Instead of leaning on God's understanding and ask God to give them understanding, they lean on their own understanding. And he says that so let me read this again. The irony of all this is that Charles Barkley, to me, has been the one guy on TV who has every once in a while had the guts to criticize LeBron James when it is merited. Well, that is what he is supposed to do, Skip Bayless, because he is an NBA analyst. So he is supposed to criticize when it needs to be, and then he's supposed to give props when it needs to be. That's what an analyst does. They analyze the game, they analyze the ball, the player, they analyze those things, Skip Bayless. And so you act like you have a problem with him analyzing what he needs to do. And so it doesn't sound like to me, Skip, that you are, analyzing. It sounds like to me you just using destructive criticism and not constructive criticism, which profits nothing. And so at the end of the day, Skip, you're saying that Charles is the only one that's, when it's merited. Well, we got a problem with that because he's not sitting up there putting this other black man down like you doing, because you are doing it. That's why I said both of y'all. But we have to see now that I'm reading what I'm seeing here, even more reading it again as I'm discussing, talking about it and commentating on it. It says to me, Skip, you might have some personal problems that you need to, go and, check yourself. But in the end, Skip Bayless shared his theory that if the two men were ever to ever meet, Charles Barkley will more than likely grow to like Bayless. Hey, I don't know about that. Don't know at all. But it says, this is just me. This is just me, he says, but I suspect that Charles is just jealous of me. Well, Skip, you 70 years old. I don't know if this man is jealous of you or not because he has his own fame and fortune. He has his own stuff going on. He looks happy. He got some beautiful teeth from this picture I'm looking at in his mouth. And when I look at you, Skip, there's a difference now, Skip. And there is an age difference because Charles Barkley is 59. You are 70. And I'm not saying nothing negative about older people. I would never do that, when it comes to older people. But what I am saying, Skip, you saying Charles Barkley is jealous of you. And I want to know why. I like to know why Charles Barkley is really jealous of you. Really? I want to know because I'm not seeing where I don't see the outside. Now, we're not supposed to judge the outer appearance. And I'm not saying that your outer appearance is bad, but I'm looking at two pictures right here and I don't see that. And now that inner appearance, I don't know. God looks at the inner appearance, he looks at the heart, but we always see with our eyes and we see the outer appearance first until we get to know somebody. So you might be saying that once he gets to know you, he's going to like you. But I'm not sure because you keep on, you coming out now and you said Charles been doing all that stuff. So you trying to give yourself some heavy high props here by saying he gonna like me, he gonna love me, but I don't know. So he says, I suspect that he watches me nearly every day on TV, and the things I say piss him off because in the end, he wishes he had a thought of that and that he could say that on TV. So are you saying that your white privilege gives you the opportunity to say things that Charles Barkley cannot say? Yeah, I'm reading between the lines. You also say that this man is infatuated with you, that this man is obsessed with you because you didn't say those words. I'm using those words. That's my opinion because you said that this man is watching you nearly every day. How do you know what he's watching on his TV? You don't know if Charles Barkley is watching you every day on TV. I'm sure Charles Barkley has, I'm going to give Charles Barkley props and credit. I believe Charles Barkley has other things to do, Skip Bayless, than watch you every day. You see what I'm saying, Skip? You really believe that Charles Barkley is sitting around watching you every day? That he's obsessed with you? That he's jealous of you? I don't believe that's the case. I just think Charles Barkley is very outspoken. He's always been outspoken, even when he played the game, and he was always arrogant. I follow basketball. I don't know everything, but I follow it. And Charles Barkley has always been that type of person, arrogant and outspoken. So do you think he's sitting up watching you every day? He got other people to watch. That's why he's an analyst, because he needs to watch other things other than you, Skip. That's why he can speak on the things he speak on when it comes to the game, because he got other things to watch, other people, other basketball games. Do you really think he's spending his life daily paying attention to you every day? No, no, bye, Skip, because I don't think he is. And then you said that you say things that tick him off, but you use the word PISS off, because in the end he wishes he had a thought of that and that he could say that on TV. So you are using your privilege because you the only one can say stuff on TV and get away with it, but he can't. Well, you have a podcast, so you might be able to say some stuff on your podcast that you can get away with saying, but is it something good that's going to be an example for others, that's going to help others grow, or is it destructive, Skip? And then with Charles Barkley, there are things he cannot say. He's an analyst, and he has to present himself in a manner that is uplifting, because he has the world looking at him, and he has the world that's saying, we want to hear the truth. We want to hear it come from professionalism and respect. So you're trying to compare apples to oranges, Skip, over here. But anyway, deep down, he goes on to say, Skip goes on to say, deep down, I have this feeling that Charles is afraid to ever try to get to know me, because he's afraid he just might like me. Wow. You know what? Let me know what your thoughts is on this commentary, on this actual article. It's from the Jasmine brand, so you can, pick up this article. But it's like, Skip, I was trying to have an open mind. I still do. But as I go along and read, I'm like, okay, Skip, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, Skip. I don't know, Skip. Yeah, I don't know on you, man. You don't sound like you got it all together here when you thinking like that. And like I said, I've never been a big fan of Charles Barkley, but guess what, Skip? Nah, I don't think Charles Barkley is obsessing over you like that and watching you every day. I just don't believe that. Now, Charles, I know you probably won't never see this video, so you won't probably never get the comment. But Charles, you know what? Since now that the article is out, maybe we want to hear from you a little more, Charles, and say, man, he ain't worth my entertaining. He ain't worth my time. But he said that you said, now this is allegedly, that you just want to kill him. So I don't know about all that. We don't want to talk about killing. We don't need to be talking about killing. It's enough of that going on. Anyway, you all have a great day. Leave your comments below. Share the video, like the video so it can get in the algorithms. And if you're not a subscriber and you want to subscribe to the channel, please do so. I talk about these issues. I try to come from a biblical perspective on them. We've got to treat folks the way we want to be treated. You know, and every man reapeth what they sow it. And if you are out here sowing some negativity, Skip, then you are going to reap the negativity back, and you cannot control who's going to bring it back, because you can't control who's God going to use to bring it back, to hold you accountable. And also, I do inspirational messages, and also, we have the Healing the Soul of a Woman. I will be coming back with some commentary on that, because we do need to get through that book. But anyway, and don't forget to check out my um, Instagram page. I have a lot of pieces of jewelry, on there. If you're interested, but go ahead, check it out anyway, and I will leave that information in the video description. But anyway, God bless you all on today. I hope you have a beautiful Wednesday, and peace.